Hello, everyone. I'm Karmle Conrad, psychic medium here on Cape Cod. I have an international following, and I thought it would be quite fun to bring you my 2011 predictions for the general public this year. Let's talk about the weather. The saying, everyone talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it, it's because you can't. And it's wonderful that the divine is in total control of the weather and humankind is not. It does make me giggle. As far as the weather goes, for those of us on Cape Cod, we are going to see two more major snowstorms this Friday. Does not seem to be a major snowstorm. We're going to get some snow and it'll be an event, but I don't see it as a big major storm like the storm we had right before Christmas. But I do forecast two more major snowstorms this winter. Wind, snow, shoveling, kids making forts, that kind of thing. I do see for the rest of the country throughout the year the tornado activity for the South and the Midwest and the middle of the country is going to be horrible. It's going to be terrible. There's going to be an increased amount of tornadic activity. There are 3 cities that are going to be hit by tornadoes this year. 2 of them will see tornadoes. They won't do a great deal of damage, but there will be tornadoes in those cities. There is a 3rd city that is going to have a direct hit, almost like the Atlanta, Georgia tornado of a few years ago. But this city is going to take a direct hit, and it is going to cause quite a bit of damage and destruction and injury. So heads up to everybody in the tornado areas, get your emergency preparedness kits ready. Be prepared to take cover when the sirens go off or you see the warnings on TV. Do not think you are not going to be hit. Take caution every single time the National Weather Service puts a warning out. It's good practice, and hopefully there will be no lives lost this year. As far as flooding across the nation goes, I do not see any catastrophic floods. I see the usual flooding that we have throughout the year. I do not see any major earthquakes throughout the country. There's earthquakes every day throughout the country, and they are recorded on seismic monitoring devices. Once in a great while, you'll feel one. You're not sure what it is, and you just kind of blow it off. There is not going to be a huge catastrophic earthquake in California. My guides tell me not this year. There's going to be no 8.0 or 9.0 or whatever, and half of California is not going to fall into the ocean along with the Pacific Northwest. There will be earthquakes. They will be reported. They'll be in the news for a few days. So again, make sure your emergency preparedness kits are ready for you to take cover and do what you need to do to survive. There will be some activity in the Indian Ocean as far as earthquake goes. There will be 2 earthquakes deep in the ocean that will not cause destruction or injury. There will be a 3rd earthquake in that area somewhere in the next 12 months that will cause major destruction and oh, I hope, God, but I do believe there will be loss of life. I hope not, but I do see that a major earthquake is on its way in the greater Indian Ocean area. A tsunami will be formed, not a huge one like the catastrophic one of December a few years ago, and we will see some ripple effect from the tsunami, but it'll be just little ruffle waves out in the other oceans. The economy recovery is very, very difficult. Most areas are not going to feel much recovery for the next 2 to 3 years. It will be 2 to 3 years before most areas will actually feel like they can breathe, and maybe people will have jobs to be able to spend money and do better. The unemployment rate in Massachusetts is somewhere between the 9s and 10s or the 8s and 10s. And that is only the number of people who are actually reporting that they're unemployed. It does not include all the people who are unemployed and are not reporting to the Department of Unemployment Assistance. That rate, my guides tell me, is closer to 21 to 22%. That means of every 100 people that are available and able to work, 22 of them can't find a job. So we need to do what we can to get people jobs here in Massachusetts that actually can cover their cost of living. As far as sports go, a friend of mine asked me if I saw any one town or one city having 3 sports championships this year. And I'm afraid, my dear friend, it's not going to be Beantown or any other town. I don't see one town monopolizing the sports scene. It's going to be shared out there. There's going to be a couple of fun surprises along the way, like, oh my God, I didn't know that guy could play ball that way, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, or hockey. So watch for the couple surprises. They'll make you smile, and you'll just be going, oh, I don't believe it. Sorry, but no one town is going to monopolize the sports scene in the next 12 months. As far as the government goes, President Obama has a very hard job to do. Whoever got into office in 8 was not going to be seen as a popular president because he would have to take the reins, put him in his hands and call a halt to all the outrageous governing that was going on. President Obama is doing a good job. President Obama is doing a good job in a very difficult time. He has started the economic recovery. We have seen reins put on the mortgage companies who put us in this mess to begin with. We have seen him work on universal health care, which we need, and he is pushing through. And we have seen him try to create jobs, especially in the green industry. We're still waiting for more of that to come about. And President Obama, for me, from someone who needs work, I certainly hope that you will get those jobs out there as quick as possible, because I need a job, just like millions of people across the country. As far as anything else going on in the country at this time, prediction-wise, I do not see any other major ruffles going on. The auto industry, again, has had its problems and is starting to recover. It will never be the way it was, and nor will our economy ever be the way it was back in the late 80s and 90s. We need to take responsibility for our actions, stop the outrageous spending that we were doing, and be more responsible people with our Mother Earth, with our own health, and with our families and everything that we have. This is Karmle Conrad on Cape Cod. I would be very delighted to set up a special session for you if you would like a reading with me, a psychic party, a small group gathering. Please feel free to call the Conrad Center at 508-833-2198. We'd be very happy to set aside a special event for you. Again, Karmle Conrad on Cape Cod, wishing one and all a blessed, blessed, healthy, and prosperous New Year.